Hey guys, I am going to show you how to use zero product property. Write that real quick. Product property to find the x-intercepts, aka solutions, to a quadratic function that first needs to be factored with the greatest common factor. Basically, if you see something like this, let's see, 2x plus 2, x plus 2, all right? Because, we have this coefficient here, that's an indication that we factored before, but we had to pull out the greatest common factor. So the original function did not have an a that equaled 1, right? So we pulled out that greatest common factor. We can assume that the greatest common factor was 2 because we see the coefficient of 2 there. And we're left with two factors like this. So it's very similar to, how we would use the zero product property if A had been 1, but there's it's a little different. So I'm just going to show you guys an example. So I'm going to split up the factors. And when I do that, I'm going to drop the parentheses. So I'm going to have, x plus 2, and I'm going to set it equal to 0. We know that an x-intercept, if you're thinking about it like this, an x-intercept is on the x-axis, so that point is going to have an x value, but the y value is always going to be 0, right? Because we didn't go up or down in the coordinate plane. That's why we set the factor equal to 0, right? We want to find, what is the x value when the y value is 0. And we go ahead and we solve this like a one-step equation, and we use our properties of equality. So if I see an addition plus 2, I'm going to do the opposite or the inverse. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, which leaves me with x equals negative 2. All right, so one of my intercepts is at negative 2. I'm going to do the same thing for the other factor, but this one is actually going to be a two-step equation. So I actually have now 2x plus 2 equals 0, all right? So, I'm just solving a two-step equation. I have to get rid of the addition first. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides and be left with 2x equals negative 2. And then I got to do my second step. 2x is really 2 times x, or multiplication. The inverse is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. These will cancel out. So x is going to equal negative 1, because negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. All right, so again, these two things are my x-intercepts, aka solutions, right here and right here. I could rewrite it as not 0, negative 1, my bad, as negative 1 comma 0. So an x-intercept is at this point, and the other x-intercept is at negative 2 comma 0. If you want to kind of visualize that on a graph, we can think of this as the negative 2 and this as the negative 1. My parabola would look something like this, and my x-intercepts are going to be right there. Okay, so again, just an extra step added when we have the greatest common factor, because this right here becomes a two-step equation instead of a one-step.